All righty. And showtime. Well, hey, everyone. Welcome back to our Advent Happy Hour. I'm here with Abby. Abby, it's good to see you. Abby is a graduating senior at Arise, and so we're just thrilled to be able to hang out and talk and reminisce and be excited about the future. And so I'm going to let Abby talk a little bit about herself, and then I would love to know what you're drinking tonight.
Sure. Well, first, thank you for inviting me to the Advent Happy Hour. That intro jingle was one of the cutest things I've ever seen, so great job. But hi everyone, my name is Abby. Like Drew said, I'm a graduating senior. So in less than 2 weeks, I'm out of here. I'm graduating with a degree in social justice and nonprofit management. Fun fact about me is that I really love bees. I guess that's a fun thing to know about me. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say in this introduction, but that's me in a nutshell.
What are you drinking?
So I'm only drinking the finest. Thank you, Dollar General, for a generally $1 Pinot Grigio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, those who I guess are popping in for the very first time, my name is Drew. I guess it's public, so I should always do that. And in honor of Abby, and hopefully this isn't a sad thing, but I picked up an Irish Red because of knowing you, and I guess I have to hold it more over here. An Irish Red, O'Hara's Irish Red. So you guys see how that is. Nice.
That's so pure. Hopefully it's good. Yeah, my grandparents are immigrants from Ireland, so very close to my heart.
Perfect. It's got a good color. I really don't like very pale beers, except if they're German. There's just something cleaner and crisper, it feels like, about German beers. But I hope everyone's having a good time. We're going to be here for about 20 minutes, hanging out, being able to respond to some comments. Feel free to post some comments. We want to be able to interact with you and be able to say hi. If you have questions for Abby, again, as I've always said, people are much more interested in Abby than they are in me usually. So, yeah. So Abby, I'm trying to remember the first time that we met. I think you and I just kind of went and did the typical coffee thing and just got to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
I remember walking away from that being like, this person's going to be pretty special.
That's so sweet. Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but I very stressfully emailed you many times before we met.
Yep.
I found Drew on accident, just looking around and stumbled upon his email. And so I reached out to him, and then his response went to my spam, so I never saw it. But then I really stressfully reached out because Arise used to do an in-person thing on Tuesdays. And I thought I had missed it. And so I sent a very stressed, hi, I'm interested. I didn't blow you off. Please tell me it's not too late. And I kind of just got no, we meet next week, not this week. Which is kind of funny thinking about it now.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure. So you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. And my memory is really bad at most of this stuff. But if I remember correctly, you reached out to us as we were relaunching that service.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically were trying to do a practice service that week. And so we were trying to figure it all out. It was super stressful. It was rough. And I remember our worship leader at the time being like, oh yeah, it'll be super easy. And it was a disaster. And I kind of knew it would be, but I think those are the things you want to work out when no one else is there. And so if I remember correctly, you emailed me hey, I missed it. What do I need? And I'm like, no, you're cool. I'm so glad. And I remember turning to Kyle at the time and be like, man, I'm glad Abby didn't come. like that no one was there so we could work out everything and get feedback from the AV people as well as the worship team, just to be able to figure things out. But yeah, I do remember that exchange.
I had no idea that it was a messy launch that I missed. See how things worked out?
Yeah, it is. And it's funny how those things play out and work out, and it's like the Holy Spirit, sometimes even in the midst of our mess, we're all set and we're good. So
Mm-hmm.
so I think one of the kind of cool things about your graduation is that you're going into campus ministry as well.
Yeah. Starting in the new year on like January 4th, I will be starting at Rise in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and I'm going to be helping launch a campus ministry for them between JMU and EMU. So yeah, I'm very excited. Biggest shout out to you, Drew, for helping make that happen. But yeah.
Yeah, I definitely didn't do anything special there, but no, I'm really excited and really looking forward to you being in campus ministry and being colleagues,
Mm-hmm.
things together, and then you can tell all your embarrassing stories, and
Of course.
the other campus ministers will have embarrassing stories about me as well, and with one another, and it'll be perfect. I mean, what possibly could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? You're so right.
Oh, I better drink my beer because right now, 7 minutes and I have not done a very good job. That's the problem, is I like talking to everyone so much. So I'm a super extrovert. So I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. I love doing all kinds of things. And then I forget like what I'm supposed to be doing. And Kyle Teeger writes back a lot. So I'm going to assume like I'm a lot of an extrovert.
Or you just like talking a lot.
I'm just like talking a lot. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what Kyle responds with. There's always like a 15, 20-second lag when we receive it and then we shoot it back to them. So, but yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I'm excited for your journey. I'm excited to be colleagues. I'm just excited to be a part of anyone's spiritual journey. Hopefully it's all for the good. For the most
all good things.
What could go wrong? Okay, now I got a lot. There you go. I got you. It wasn't a burn. I thought it was going to be a burn. So, but yeah.
I was kind of expecting that too, but it's fine.
I'm used to getting burned. Like in any of the things we do, I'm always the butt of the jokes. And luckily, I dish it out pretty good back. I think the thing that always bothers me is when people aren't able to take it back. They're just get very people like to pick, and then I do it back, and then I get in trouble, which has happened a couple of times in my life, quite a few actually.
See, that's a marker of a good friendship, though, if you can equally give it and take it. If like both parties can equally give and take the back and forth, peak friendship.
That's right. So if you look back, what was your favorite memory or experience at Arise?
That's a hard question. There's a lot of really good experiences I've had. If you're looking for serious answer, probably just like the first time that I showed up to an Arise event. So pre-COVID times, for anybody who's on the live stream, Arise used to do, like when I first joined way back sophomore year, they used to do like in-person like community nights and like dinner together. And the first time that I walked in, there was a couple student leaders there, and they literally just kind of like took me by the arm and was like, hello, we're going to be friends now. This is my name. This is about me. So like, that's got to be up there for one of my favorite like memories or experiences, is just like right off the bat, just feeling so like welcomed, which is like, I couldn't really tell you what we talked about. If you're watching, it was Allison and it was Rachel. They both like right off the bat were just like, hi, we lead a life group on Wednesdays. This is about us. Tell us about you. This is what we do with Arise. This is why we love it. And so just like that initial, like, you don't even know my name and you want to be my friend. Awesome. If you're looking for not serious, one of my favorite memories. I think we were going to like a leadership retreat, and we were playing a game in the car where you like drive, and you have to do like the alphabet thing. So you have to find like car signs, and it goes in order, and so it's a competition to see who can get through A to Z, from A to Z the quickest.
That's right.
Well, in case y'all didn't know, Drew is really competitive.
Really, really, really competitive.
Straight up got off the freeway or interstate or whatever it's called,
Yep.
just to try to find a letter that he was like hunting. He was like, oh, it's
It was Z. I wanted to win.
he was like, oh, like it's a shortcut. I need to make a stop, whatever. Like he was making up all these excuses just to like drive down random like side streets just to find the Z. He never did.
So I put the in MapQuest, I put the closest school in because I was hoping that there'd be like a school zone, like a speed limit sign.
He did not get it, which nice. But that's also one of my favorite memories just because it was so chaotic, and like I'm not a spontaneous person at all. I just am not. But that was just so spontaneous, and I was literally crying laughing. At one point on the ride home, Allison was also in the car, and she just kind of like whipped around and like screamed like, I need to win this, which sent me because like I'm not super competitive either. So definitely out of my element, but one of like the funniest experiences that I've had in a Rise.
Yeah, what I find is, I don't know if Kyle's still watching. Kyle can attest to how competitive I can be, but like to the nth degree. We play video games sometimes, and they get super intense. We were having a conversation about this the other day, but we were sitting there, and I'm like, I think it like brings everyone's competitiveness up. Like again with Allison, like I need to win. I need to win one. Like she was really into it, and like was like out of it turned up to 1 million really quick. And all that does to me as an Enneagram 8 is that makes me want to be more competitive too, because I'm like, oh, I'll compete you. So we were doing well, and we were, it's fun. It's all in good fun. Like I don't really care. I like just to compete and feel, good about it. So clearly Kyle's not in here, else Kyle will be posting all kinds of stuff about how competitive. So
See, I love to win, but like being competitive, not my thing. But like I'll gloat about winning once it's already happened. That's my vibe.
Yeah, I like to talk. If nothing else, I at least win the trash talk.
See, I can't do that. I feel like I'll actually hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah. I mean, I do care about people's feelings. I don't want to come off as that, but I feel like we're playing a game. So therefore, you've agreed to everything that comes with the game, including mind games. So I love getting in people's minds and messing with them and talking trash.
Also, for if anybody's watching, I'm an Enneagram type 2. So I just like take everything to heart, like with other people's feelings. So like that's why I avoid trash talk. But can confirm, Drew does actually care about people's feelings. Did not mean to come across any other way.
No. I just always like to be clear, when I'm talking about doing a whole bunch of trash talk that, I do care about people and our students, obviously. I think once people graduate and do some different things that gives me the opportunity to be a little more trash talking.
Mm-hmm.
Loose a little bit, but again, we were talking about this the other night. I think part of it is authenticity too. That I always want to be seen as who I am. Not that I'm not growing or things like that, but that I can authentically be who I am. And I think that young people, because I'm super old,
Yep.
start saying this, but I was gonna say, I think particularly your generation, especially those who are outside of faith tradition and church, they want to see authentic people who also take their faith seriously. And that's about the best thing that you can do if you're going to be a leader, is not to hide or to pretend to be someone you're not, but instead really say, okay, this is who I am and this is who I'm going to be. And this also matters to me, so that when you do show what matters to you, people know that it's serious.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in stark contrast to some of the other people we see on the news and on social media who are very serious about their faith and then get caught in a scandal.
Yeah. And I think from like both a leader perspective in Arise and also just like a participant perspective from Arise, you are one of the best people that do actively live into that authenticity, with like acknowledging your growth areas and like being open about it, and also letting loose. Like there was one time, where this will forever stick out to me. I like am not a really big TV watcher, but one time like you were doing like your like community night sermon thing, and you straight up just showed like a video from like what was it, The Simpsons?
Yeah.
That I could not tell you what you were talking about, but that will forever like stick out as a memory of like things can be serious, or like it's like that saying, it's perfectly fine and good to be childlike, but never childish.
Yeah.
I think you do a great job with that.
Sometimes I don't.
That happens.
Yep. But no, I have to say, like, you know, and it made an impact because my campus minister when I was, or the pastor of the church I went to when I was in campus ministry showed The Simpsons. It was every single week at the contemporary service. And so I've always kind of followed that because I think The Simpsons is a really smart show. And it says a lot about society and religion in a fun way that you couldn't, it gets its point across. So yeah, so that's totally stolen from Reggie, not from him. but I've always appreciated being able to do that because the truth of the matter is too, people don't want to go and speak for 15, 20 minutes anymore. And you need to break things up. You need to break up words with videos or something visual so you're hitting all those different learning styles that people have.
Absolutely.
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, what was your favorite part of Mason?
My favorite part of Mason,
besides Arise.
Besides Arise. Well, there went my first answer was Arise.
I'm sure.
But also, once upon a time, this may sound crazy to some people, but once upon a time, there was not construction on campus. And when there wasn't, like out by the like Mason Pond and like where the statue used to be, so like by the Johnson Center, there were just all of these different trees, and I don't know what they actually are. They remind me of cherry blossoms. I don't know if they actually were cherry blossoms, but when they would bloom, it would just be like the most beautiful thing. Like I would just walk around campus just to walk around, just because like aesthetically it was so pretty. Post construction, because like realistically most people are never going to see a campus without construction, has honestly probably been the jobs that I've had, which like is kind of lame, but I worked for orientation. I was an orientation leader. The only job that I would ever work sun up to sundown and sleep like 5 hours a night willingly for work, just because it was so memorable, and that's where I like made the bulk of my friends besides Arise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how college kind of creates those friendships and relationships with people and you know, lifelong. I still talk to my best friends in college, and so yeah, we went to Brazil together, and I mean just so many great memories of no. You come along with us to Honduras. Or no, you never did. No, you did.
I did once. I did the first year.
You were going to do it again, and it got canceled.
And then rip COVID.
And then COVID, because you were supposed to go with us in January.
Mm-hmm. But then, you know, side tangent, I don't know if this is something that can be said on live, but like I never got my birth certificate back. Like,
wait, give it back to you?
No, they never gave it back.
Well, you're going to have to go get a certified copy now. I'd get that sooner than later.
That's fine. One other, I've got to say, is there time for one other story? Because like,
time for I'm almost done. And by the way, I really like this beer, this Irish Red. I have it an 8 out of 10.
Excellent.
Wine, by the way. How's your wine?
About as good as dollar store wine could be.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much?
Bad. It was like I got like one of those like little like plastic bottles that are supposed to be like a serving for like $2.
Okay.
And so it kind of just tastes like acidic water, but it's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. There's like a beer that I really want to try actually that's through Mason, through like their honeybee initiative. And it's beer made out of the honey from the apiaries on campus.
Huh. What's it
It's
called?
really wholesome. Patriots 57.
Okay.
And it sounds wholesome. But okay, you asked what like one of my favorite memories within Arise was, and I just thought of another one.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the term slaps? Like, oh, that slaps.
Yes.
Okay, well, once upon a time, Emily did not know what that was. And Emily learns a lot of lingo from me because, like, I talk like a Gen Zer because all I do is spend time on TikTok. But it's fine. And so I just, like, subtly dropped, like, oh, I had dinner the other night and it slapped. And so she asked me to explain it, and I did. And I was like, oh, that's like when something is really, really good. And so she didn't quite understand it. And so she was like, okay, so tell me if, like, I use this in the sentence correctly. So, like, I made chicken last night. Would it be appropriate for me to say, my chicken slapped me? And to me, that's just the funniest thing. And I still think about that because the chicken did not slap someone, it just slapped.
It's slapped. I mean, what if your chicken starts slapping back, though? I mean, it's pretty intense.
And you might need to talk to whoever you bought it from because that seems like a red flag.
Yeah. That's funny. No, yeah. I have a million of those stories too of just things, and it's funny as you get older, and I'm not that much older than you all. I'm getting to be double people's. Oh, I am. Oh my goodness. Oh, I just realized that the freshmen, I'm double their age now.
You just had like a life realization.
I did. And you'll start to like realize, like, I'll be talking to someone about like a movie that I really enjoyed that I watched in college. And now, they're like, I don't know this movie, or they're like totally lost with the reference. I'm like, oh my gosh. Or they'll say something like it slaps, and I'll be like, I almost have to look stuff up now. Like I'll have to look up acronyms and things like that. Usually on Urban Dictionary. So I avoid most of Urban Dictionary, but for slang and things like that, it's really good to be able to be like, oh, this is what it is.
See, I just live on TikTok, and I'm like a cusper between like millennial and Gen Z.
Yeah.
And I just learn all of like my cool lingo from TikTok and from like the teenagers that are on there. And so that's how I stay up to date with it.
Nice. Ryan LaRock wants to put in a request for a new phrase.
Listening.
It's don't slap your chickens before they hatch.
Perfect.
And that's going to make it. That sounds really messy.
Don't slap your chickens before they hatch. That's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Is that what it's like?
That's how I'm getting. That's what I'm getting from it. That's what I'm picking up that he's putting down.
Nice. Very nice. So, well, I have to tell you, it's been fun, but in reality, you're probably going to be one of the people that we can say like, well, we'll see you in a couple weeks after you graduate, because you're gone from Mason, you're gone from Arise as a whole, but you're still active in campus industry world. And Ryan serves on the board of higher ed, and so you'll get to see Ryan and might have some interaction with the board of higher ed, maybe in the Methodist Church and all kinds of things. So.
Hopefully. I'll be moving 2 hours away, like 2 days after Christmas, 2 or 3 days after Christmas. So it's really going fast. It'll be like finals finish, virtual graduation, Christmas, and then I move.
It's coming.
So it's coming, and it's coming fast.
Yeah. Well, Abby, thanks again for joining us. Thanks for hanging out and for just being awesome in general. So
yes, Thank you for having me. Thank you for being so important in like my college experience. Big shout out to Arise for all of that. Yeah, thank you for having me before I graduate and get out of here.
No problem. And for all of you who are watching on replay, go ahead. I've decided I'm going to start taking these to be, I'm going to take them down from private or taking them down after like a week, just so that they're not all over Facebook. But really do appreciate Abby and everyone who's coming along. And if you have comments you want to throw in the comment, I'm check them out. Abby's able to check them out. We're friends on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. So, and we'll be excited to see what happens with Rise and their college ministry. So, all right. Well, have a good evening, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Have a good evening.